Beloved soul, lean in closely. This isn't just another voice among the noise. This is a message etched in heaven's own handwriting, carried on the breath of the divine straight into your heart. You didn't stumble here by accident. There's no randomness in this moment. Right here, right now, eternity is leaning into time, and it has everything to do with your son. Yes, that same son whose name you've whispered in midnight prayers, the one you fought for in secret, weeping in the stillness, hoping no one would see how deep your ache runs. You've stood in the quiet storm, crying out for God to intervene, to break through the shadows that seem to wrap around him tighter each day. Heaven heard every word. There's been no delay in response, only divine preparation. For what comes next isn't the end. It's not collapse, failure, or the unraveling of his destiny. No, it's the beginning of a holy uprising. Heaven has marked tomorrow as a turning point. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. There is a shift that has already begun in the spirit, and it is about to break into the physical. The enemy tried to bury this truth, desperate to keep it from reaching your ears. But the veil is lifting, and as you hear these words, something in your soul is waking up. No, that's not mere emotion. That's confirmation. You were chosen to receive this. It was meant for you, crafted long before your son was born, inscribed with his name by the hand of God himself. You see glimpses, maybe even questioned if your faith was fading. But the truth is, you've been protecting a sacred flicker of hope in the midst of a relentless storm. You've battled whispers of defeat and the weight of unanswered prayers. But the Lord speaks now. I have watched, I have listened, and now I will move. This moment is divine disruption. Tomorrow won't look like today. The fog will begin to lift. What once felt like endless delay will be revealed as purposeful alignment. The confusion will begin to give way to clarity, and that battle you've been fighting in silence, God is now bringing his sword into it. You may have noticed it, that unexplainable heaviness around your son, the distance, the spiritual silence. You've tried to connect, but it felt like something unseen was blocking your words. You were not imagining it. This was spiritual warfare, a battle fought in realms beyond what the eye can see. But now the heavens are revealing what has been hidden. The question that lingered. Why the delay? Why the silence? Why does your son seem so lost? Is being answered not with logic, but with revelation. He's been walking through a wilderness, one not of his own doing, but allowed by God to prepare him for a holy transformation that could never be rushed. Everything he's endured, the isolation, the confusion, the internal chaos, it wasn't abandonment, it was preparation. He's been in a refining fire designed not to destroy, but to reveal what's always been inside him. A calling powerful enough to shake generations. That shaking you felt? It's not ruin, it's rebirth. The patterns, the pull away, the questions, every detour has been heaven's way of guiding him towards something only God could orchestrate. And now you, yes, you, are being called deeper. This isn't just about watching anymore. This is about stepping into the mystery with authority. You have wept, worshipped, and waited. But now heaven is placing a mantle on your shoulders. Intercessor, warrior, gatekeeper. You've carried your son in prayer when his voice was silent. You lifted his name when the world offered no hope. And God has seen it all. Heaven never forgot. Your son hasn't been forgotten. He's been targeted. Not because he's weak, but because he's chosen. The enemy saw what God planted in him and feared it. But what hell never counted on was you. You, the parent who wouldn't let go, the one who chose faith when facts said otherwise, the one who declared life in the face of what looked like spiritual death. Your prayers forged weapons in the unseen. Your cries weren't in vain. They were seeds. And now the Lord says, the harvest begins. Chains you felt are breaking. Cycles of confusion and numbness are shattering. The atmosphere is changing. Your son's purpose is realigning. That's why tomorrow matters. It is not an ordinary day. It is divinely scheduled. It may not come with thunder or lightning, but it will come with quiet shifts. A thought, a decision, a moment that seems small but splits the sky and the spirit. Watch closely. You'll know. Your spirit will recognize it. Heaven has invited you into this moment. You are no longer bystander. You are builder, a prophet in prayer and a warrior in worship. Inside your son, a lion is beginning to stir. Dreams buried under doubt are rising again. The fire may not be loud, but it will be unquenchable. Every attempt of the enemy to distort his identity, to confuse, isolate, or oppress, will be overturned. What was meant to harm him will become the soil for his testimony. The breakdown, it's been the birthplace of something greater. So you may ask, why all this pain? Why did it take so long? Because some awakenings require a shaking. Sometimes it takes fire to expose the gold beneath. And your son, your beloved son, is awakening, not just being rescued. He's being reborn. This is your moment. Not to worry, not to fear, but to stand as heaven's partner on earth. Tomorrow has been touched by God. Your son will walk into a new day written before time began. The fog will lift. The confusion will clear. In its place, purpose will rise. Signs are coming. Stay sensitive. A word, a shift, a conversation out of nowhere. It's all God. Don't dismiss the small things. Heaven hides miracles in ordinary moments. Remember, none of this is random. Your son's story never belonged to darkness. It's always been held by the Father who never sleeps. You haven't fought alone. Angels surrounded him. God's breath hovered over him. Every prayer you've prayed became a decree. And tonight, as you take this message into your spirit, know this: the miracle has begun. The fire is already burning. Restoration is in motion, and tomorrow it won't come empty. It carries your awaited answer. So rest now. Let the weight lift. Let your heart open. Heaven has spoken. Your son's name is written on a scroll of destiny. His steps are being guided by the one who calls stars by name. This is not the end. It's the unfolding. The moment where pain turns to purpose, darkness gives way to dawn. The miracle is here. And your son, he is coming home to his divine purpose.